welcome to my channel. This is Betty, I'm a nutritionist and I help you overcome chronic diseases as well as transition you to a plant-based diet in the right way, okay? If this topic is interesting for you, please subscribe because there's so many more videos coming your way about this specific topic. Today I want to talk about why am I not following a fully raw diet? Why am I not eating only fully raw plant-based diet? So basically, I think it's very individual, and when I was eating fully raw before, I loved it, don't get me wrong, but there's a few factors that affected me in my decision for not being fully raw. So number one is the fact that when I had my kids, I was breastfeeding them, both of them, and especially when I transitioned to a more cooked diet, I'm still super high raw, okay, but I have cooked food in the evening. Why did that happen? Is because when I had my kids and I was breastfeeding them, I was constantly hungry. And if you know my story, you know that basically until COVID, I was traveling a lot with my children, like with my child. So it was very hard to be on the road, being raw vegan, fully raw vegan. So I compensated and I started eating more cooked food when I was a mom. And because I was breastfeeding, I was all the time hungry. So it was such an amazing option to have this option, you know, when we were in the restaurant or anywhere, just to have cooked potatoes, rice. And, you know, I sent you to my story about my postpartum video and about, in general, how hard it was for me to be a mom. So really, I was not really focusing on my diet when I became a mom because I had more, you know, I wouldn't say important things, but I had other things that I had to take care of. So I kind of put my raw veganism aside, and that's how it is until today. I am still very, very, very high raw. I eat most of my calories daily coming from fruits, but I am eating cooked food. So let me just give you why. First thing was because I became a mom, I was breastfeeding, I was hungry, and I preferred to focus, not all my focus during the day of when I'm gonna get ripe fruits. I just preferred to have this option of having cooked whole foods, right? Whole and low in fat and as unprocessed as possible. And I know many women, mothers, who had given birth and they were more hungry with this potatoes and rice and sometimes whole grain pasta, whatever you want to eat, is a great option because you still get so much fiber, you're still eating the correct way, and this is what was working for me. Another reason was the traveling. Like, if you know, being raw vegan as a traveler, and I'm not talking about you being a traveler when you are alone, you know, single person, or when you are a couple. I'm talking about, you know, having a small kid, and I was learning. There was a learning process for me. And I was not driving as well. I didn't have driver's license until I was 28. So the first 2 years of my son's life, I didn't have a driver's license. So, you know, it's like, it's sometimes you just go the easier way. I don't say it's a worst way, but it's that's what worked for me. So having a child, breastfeeding, and traveling was hard for me. When it comes to now, okay, let's talk about why am I not raw vegan now. It's pretty much the same reason. I am a woman who is interested in so many things. So when I turned vegan and I opened my door for a more natural way of living and really focusing on here and now, I realized that there's so many more things that you can do in life. And so as I always say to my clients, diet is not the only way. This diet is not the only thing we should be thinking about during the day. So sometimes we need to create the right path for ourselves to stick to this lifestyle so that we can enjoy, rather be really crazy about raw food and only raw food. It depends what works for you. For me personally, I have so much to do during the day that I don't only focus about the diet, as simple as that. I feel great, I am healthy, I balance my hormones, I balance my skin, I don't have acne, I feel great, I'm energetic, I'm fit, my kids are healthy. I have everything I need to have in life. So that's what works for me. I am still eating very low in fat, not processed food during the day, in the evening. So it works for me really good. I know people who really focus on raw foods and they struggle. I see my clients, sometimes people join me after 10 years of eating raw vegan and they still need help. So you gotta really take care of yourself in a way, in a very holistic way, and see yourself in a Question your choices, you know, see what works for you. If you work in a, if you live in a cold climate, maybe strictly raw vegan food is not what's gonna be good for you. Maybe when you have kids and you stress about certain things, maybe it's better to let go and be stressless and really avoid the stressful situations of I don't have ripe bananas or I have to go and do shopping. So sometimes for me it's easier to go for the whole day with the kids outside and come back home and prepare quickly potatoes and rice rather be stressed that I need to go every single second or third day to get raw food. So that's what works for me now. That's what worked for me for past 7 years, 6 years. If you feel that raw food is the best for you and you want to keep eating raw, amazing, keep going. I can't tell you how important that is. But I was eating this way for 11 years. I was high raw for 11 years. And I don't find it so hard and so difficult to be eating this way when you have an option of a cooked food, especially when you meet other people, when you meet friends and family, and it's just so much easier to just say, sure, I can eat it as long as it's vegan, because when you say about raw veganism, it's already getting tricky. It's more tricky. I don't say it's impossible. I think one day I'll come back to it, definitely. But for now, when I have small kids, I don't really know. Making a salad for myself in the evening and then making for them soup or whatever they want to eat. I just have so much to do during the day that I can't be focusing only about the food. And that's what I teach in my program as well, because I think we should be having very strategically planned day so that we know when we have to focus on food and when we can focus on other things like job, like your friends, like your hobby, like your whatever you want to focus on. Your kids, right? Rather stressing so much about the food and getting all the time, because I know how it is, you know, I'm eating raw, a lot of it is raw, and you still have to think about it because it has to be fresh produce, so you need to focus on it. But once you have help from a cooked meal at the end of the day, it's kind of easier. It's easier and it's just takes less time and it's easier, especially when you have small kids. So this is my answer. I hope you find it helpful if you are struggling being fully raw, or you want to transition to a vegan diet, or you want to eat raw but it's difficult for you because, as I said, there are some reasons that it's difficult for us to keep this diet. If you have questions about this, or if you have certain really uncomfortable situations during the day that you feel stuck and you don't know how to fix it, let me know. Thank you for watching.